Hello everyone, I am M. Devika, first B at Maths Department, Shakti College of Education for Women, Ottanjatram, Dindikkal. The topic of my presentation is Functions of Educational Planning in Contemporary India and Education. Let's see the meaning of educational planning. Educational planning means preparing the action plan to realize the aims and objectives of education and with the available resources ensure the development of the individual and society. Let's move on to the topic functions of educational planning. Here there are 7 functions in educational planning. Setting the national goals of education, framing educational policies, finalizing priority plans on sectors, deciding the total financial allocation for education, exploring ways to mobilize resources to finance education, budget preparation, formulating procedures. Here we are going to discuss only 5 functions of educational planning. First one is setting the national goals of education. A.L. Mudaliar Education Commission mentioned the following as the goals of education: developing democratic citizenship and leadership qualities, improving vocational efficiency. Kothari Education Commission had laid down the following as the national goals of education: relating education to productivity, strengthening social and national integration, accelerating the process of modernization, developing social and moral values among students. Dr. Malcolm Adisheshia Committee advocated the following as goals of education: eradicating unemployment, removing poverty, rural development, and improving adult education. National Policy on Education mentioned the following as objectives of education: promoting freedom, equality, self-reliance, and broad outlook among youth, developing national unity and spirit of excellence. Second one is framing the educational policies. Dr. Radhakrishnan Commission constituted to improve the higher education advocated 3-year degree course, vocationalization of education, and promoting agriculture and research. Dr. Kothari Education Commission submitted its elaborate report by critically studying all aspects and all levels of education. Important recommendations of Kothari Commission are introducing the 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern of common school system across the country, which means study of 10 years is done in schools and 2 years in junior colleges and 3 years of graduation for bachelor's degree. Introducing 3 language formula: mother tongue or regional language, English or any one of the international languages, and any other Indian language not studied as first language. Including work experience at all levels of education. Free and compulsory education for all school children in the age group of 6 to 14. Encouraging adult education. National policy on education was placed for discussion among teachers, public, and educational administrators to get their views. Salient features of NEP are equalization of educational opportunities, the government fulfilling the basic needs of all primary schools through the Operation Blackboard scheme, increasing the quantum of scholarships, establishing National Open University, admitting scheduled caste or scheduled tribe teachers in large numbers. Third one is finalizing the priority plans and sectors. Let's see the levels and their social responsibility. First one is preschool, providing early childhood education in all Anganwadis, which means baby care centers. Second one is primary education, compulsory free education, preference to women in the appointment of teachers, midday meal scheme, providing free textbooks and stationery items are their social responsibilities. Third one is middle school, raising the standard of education, free education, learning by doing, and computer literacy. Fourth one is high schools, importance to maths, science, and languages, opportunity to learn a third language. Fifth one is higher secondary schools, including a subject of modern technology as core subject and 3 electives and 1 language subject in school curriculum. Sixth one is vocational education, opportunity to join certificate or diploma or degree course for those who completed standard 8, 10, 12 respectively. Seventh one is higher education or research. Universities provided for only PG or science degrees and innovative research programmers. Eighth one is distance education, providing opportunity to obtain UG or PG or research degrees through all Indian regional languages. Fourth one is deciding the total financial allocation for education. If we glance through the annual budget of Government of India for 2016 to 2017, we can understand which sectors got higher financial allocation. That is total income 17.77 lakh crores and its total expenditure 19.78 lakh crores. Let's see the sector-wise allocations. Defense 17.24%, food security schemes 7.15%, rural development 4.43%, railways 2.27%, production of chemical fertilizers 3.56%, internal security 3.86%, human resource development 3.64%. Fifth one is exploring ways of mobilizing resources to finance education. First, taxes. Education cess along with property tax and income tax is being collected. Second one, tuition fees. Education is free from standard 1 to 12. At higher education stage, tuition fees could be collected. Third, others, interest received from fixed deposits and that from the investment of funds of trusts. Fourth, donations. Many philanthropists and parents are giving liberal donations. Charitable trusts and religious trusts are also involved in educational service. Fifth one is external aid. Assistance from non-resident Indians, foreign charitable trusts should be welcomed and such flow of funds should be regulated. Thank you.